Hi there. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time we totally destroyed Madame Tispels with facts and logic, and now she's going to tell us everything that we want to know. So yes, Madame Tispels, I need you to tell me everything you know about Alan Wake. That man is a menace. Tell us more about the stolen waxwork, please. It was some days ago now, when I came in here one morning. I immediately noticed that the waxwork was missing from the special exhibit here. Oh, it is your most prominent display. So that's why the curtains were closed. And I found the ransom note in its place. The culprit must have broken in during the night and taken it then. So this waxwork that was stolen, it was a model of some horrible criminal, I suppose? Of a particularly horrible criminal, in fact. The killer who left a more profound scar on society than any other, I would say. The professor. Holy shit. You're telling me Professor Layton was a serial killer all along? Man, I should have known. Those dark black eyes. I thought they were so trusting, but clearly they were hiding a darker secret than I ever could have realized. Not a name I've heard of, if I'm being honest. Well, to be fair, you are, not exactly in the know when it comes to British things. Though then again, that might be a thing of London assuming that, their shit is shit that everyone should know about. So, Mr. Naruhodo, it seems the circle is complete. Sorry? The Professor case happened at around the time I was born, didn't it? Oh, so that was like, what, 10 years ago? Indeed it did, Iris. 10 years ago, a series of murders had rocked the capital. 10 years ago? I was like 13 back then. Yes, at exactly the time that Barak van Zykes graduated from university, in fact. Oh. Yeah, I guess so. Man, I wonder if those two events are related in some form or fashion. What? Surely he's not saying... So the big event that changed Mr. Reaper's life? As you surmised. It was the Professor case. Jeez, how could the Professor case have such an effect on him? Well, who was this Professor then? Yeah, care to inform me about that? It was a series of gruesome murders that had all of London gripped in terror a decade ago. After 5 victims were killed, the man was arrested, put to death. Only 5 victims? I want to say only 5 victims, like that's a fucking, not a significant amount, but like, a lot of 20th century serial killers, they killed a lot more than 5 people, Fucking, those are rookie numbers, Professor. Just ask fucking Ted Bundy or John Wayne Gacy, 5 victims is chump change to them. And now he's immortalized here in wax, for all Londoners to admire and enjoy. Though, of course, he happens to be absent at present, on account of the abduction. But I don't understand. How is all this related to Lord Van Zeeks? Or Zykes, or Zooks, or I'm never gonna pronounce that name consistently. I'll call that man like 100 different fucking things. I'll pronounce his name like 100 different ways, before I know the canonical explanation. You must first understand, my dear fellow, why it is that the Professor earned such infamy. Yeah, I'm curious. It was due to the victims he chose. Some of Whitehall's finest. Where's Whitehall? What do you mean, Hurley? Those murdered by the Professor, some of the highest members of the British aristocracy. Oh, okay, well that explains it. If you kill, like, I mean, when you kill, like, poor people and, like, nobodies, you know, I feel like most society probably wouldn't pay too much attention. But if you kill, like, the ranking members of the aristocracy, then, well, yeah, people are going to pay attention then. Members of the nobility, even royalty. It sent shockwaves to the country's administration. Members of the... Ah, wait, of course! What Professor Harebrained said. Lord Van Zykes is from a family with noble blood. Oh yeah, he did mention that, didn't he? Oh gosh! Oh golly, oh gadzooks! Oh golly, give me gosh! It was the fifth victim that led to the Professor's arrest. The last of the killer's prey was a young noble by the name of Clint Van Zykes. Clint Van Zykes. Well, I guess we, well, I guess we know why the case might have shaped Barack's young life. No! That can't be! I don't believe it! Van Zykes? Ugh! Uh-oh, he's getting serious. I'm sure you can piece together the rest for yourself. In the wake of his older brother's murder, the young Barack pursued a career as a prosecutor, and eventually became the Reaper we know today. I had no idea Lord Van Zykes had such a tragic past. Well, I'm afraid that's all I can say on the matter. For the time being, at least. After all, I have work to do. As a waxwork exhibit. Oh yes, of course. Someone gonna help that unconscious guy? Like, he's just been laying out cold this whole damn time. Like, I know he was trying to steal your stuff, but come on. Can you at least usher him out? I am afraid I shall have to excuse myself as well. Oh, yes, of course. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Well, none of the predicted scenarios I've been analyzing involved you coming to visit me here. Wait, who's talking? Oh. Oh, it was you. It's you two. Oh, wait, no. Ah, it's been too long. It really has. Oh, I'm delighted to see you, Barack. It's been 10 years. And here we are, meeting in a prison of all places. Oh, I can't forgive myself for what happened to Mr. Assman. I just can't. Emmanuel can't. I still can't believe it could happen. God, wait, you can't even look. You can't even look Harebrained in the eyes, man. You gotta have your back turned like a coward. Come on, Van Zykes. Tomorrow, the court will decide. Yes, I have a young Eastern man acting for my defense. He seems reliable enough, though. It was an accident, a terrible accident. He assures me he can prove it. I must warn you. Oh, I know. I've heard already. You're going to be prosecuting, aren't you? Yes. Since I returned to England, I've heard lots of stories. Barack, are you really a fucking racist piece of crap? What? Ah, never mind. I know that you have my best interests at heart. I wouldn't be so, you know, I wouldn't be so bold there, Mr. Harebrained. I'm pretty sure Barack Van Zykes only has the interest of Barack Van Zykes at heart.
My friend is on trial. I wouldn't entrust it to anybody else.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. I'm sorry, man. I just find it hard to believe that you have a friend, Mr. Van Zeeks. You do not seem like the kind of guy who has friends. Especially not friends you haven't spoken to in like 10 years.
Of course! I fully understand. Thank you, Barack. Until tomorrow, then. I'll see you in court.
Oh, okay, well, I guess, yeah, I guess it's a to be continued, huh? Well, I'm definitely not gonna be, well, I'm not gonna be leaving out things off here. It's a little early for that, even for my tastes. But hey, I guess that's one investigation day done. Frankly, I feel like we could have learned a little more, but, you know, like they kept mentioning, you know, the case, we had already accepted the case relatively late in the day, so we only had so much time to investigate. So I gotta say, it feels like we spent more time learning about the fucking Reaper and, you know, the business related to him than we learned about what actually happened on that day, you know? I mean, on the day of the murder, I mean, or accident or whatever, you know? I mean, not the end of the world or anything, but that's just an observation. I don't know, I just sort of feel like maybe, you know, in general, the investigation phases are handled a bit differently here in these games. Like, a lot of the time, it just feels like it's more like about delivering exposition in terms of the greater story, which, like, isn't a bad approach necessarily. I guess that makes things, you know, keep things more compelling than just hopping from place to place and picking up clues and whatnot, but then it leaves a scenario where you end up learning more in court and getting more evidence in court than you do in the actual trials, you know? Or in the actual investigations, I mean. Sorry, I got my words mixed up. Oh well. I can't believe it's been 6 months since I was last allowed to work in court. And now here I am, back at the Old Bailey. I mean, after the mysteries we uncovered in the final case of the last game, I feel like there's nothing that we can't accomplish, you know? I mean, we basically unraveled a whole government conspiracy and made fucking Gregson confess like a little bitch. Like, that was pretty dope. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Good morning, Professor Hairbrain. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. What? Like, the fact that you're in court? The fact that Asman died? The fact that Barack Van Zykes is prosecuting? Like, what part? The atmospheric pressure in here is off the charts. I've never felt anything like it. It's crushing me. Oh, okay, that, I guess. It's called being nervous, pal. I feel it every time I'm here. That gravity. Obviously, it's time to start defying gravity. Well, this is Britain's highest court. But are you telling me it's fitted with some kind of device that can actually control air pressure? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I think it's probably all in the mind. You know, psychosomatic. Ah, yes, well, you won't let me down, will you, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm a professor of, I don't know exactly what my specialization is, but it's not psychiatry, I can tell you that. I'm counting on you in today's trial to save my life. Don't make those fucking faces at me, dude. To save the secret of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine from being made public. Yeah, that's really the important thing. that's you know, that's priority number one. Yes, I understand. I know what I have to do. I have to establish that the explosion 2 days ago was nothing more than an unfortunate accident. Well, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about, really. Justice will prevail. Okay, I don't know who's talking again. My commiserations, Mr. Naruhodo. You appear to have been lumbered with the most tiresome case here. Oh, it was Sholmes, of course. Ah, Mr. Sholmes? I didn't expect to see you here. That was very mean, Bruno, leaving me alone at home with Hurley. It took me at least an hour to wake him. Ah! Oh! Ah! Is it? Are you? Herlock Sholmes? Indeed, sir, I am he. Herlock Sholmes. Yeah. Oh, I've heard all about your exploits, even whilst living in Germany. Ah, yes. Rand's magazine is on sale in Germany, too. This month's installment was sublime. Your deduction in the adventure of Silver Blaze was wonderful. Ah, yes, a memorable case indeed. It concerned a snake, I seem to recall. No, that was a speckled band. And there wasn't actually a fucking snake involved. I mean, there was a snake involved, but it had nothing to do with the case at hand. It was all a big fucking red herring. Or, I guess, a speckled herring. Well, thank you for coming. I do appreciate your support. I'm sorry to disappoint you, my dear fellow, but I'm afraid I can't stay. Bro, why not? Oh. I have urgent business at Madame Tispel's. You mean your waxworks job? No, the waxwork abduction, of course. Madame has engaged my services. Ah, so you're trying to get to the bottom of that ransom note, are you? The week's wages depend on it, as does the safe return of the waxwork, naturally. As such, I intend to give it my undivided attention. Well, I mean, I guess that's not totally unfair. I mean, if you're getting paid, you know? I mean, it's better than, like, knowing you, I assumed that you were just fucking, you know, taking a nap, or you were gonna be, like, or eating bonbons. At least you're actually working. Oh, well, never mind then. I understand. Of course, with my skills of observation and reasoning, resolving the matter will be as easy as proverbial pie. As opposed to, you know, making literal pie, which is, you know, takes a fair amount of work. I shall return forthwith. For until I solve the case, I shall have no money to afford a pie of any description. Well, yeah, there's that too, I guess. Actual pies cost money. Oh, then you must absolutely give it your full attention, Hurley. Quite, Iris, quite. But life is riddled with irony, you know? Whenever I give something my full attention, I have a quite insatiable desire for a pie. Really? That's a weird quirk. One of the universe's intractable mysteries, you might say. I don't know if I'd go that far. Oh, yes, quite, definitely, absolutely. I totally understand. Is someone a little starstruck? Well, it would be the first time. I mean, Shizato is still a big fan of Herlock, even after knowing him for, like, months. I wish you the very best of luck, Professor Hairbrain. Ow! Ah! Ooh! Ah! Boom! Ah! Boo! Ba! Ba! Beep! Ba! Ba! Doo! Ba! Da! Why? Thank you. Before I depart, Mr. Naruhodo, a word in your ear, if you please. And, the word is, bird. What's this about? As you have remarkably little grounding in science, I feel I ought to inform you. As compelling as this super high voltage instantaneous kinesis hypothesis may be, a practical implementation, such as was attempted by the professor at the Great Exhibition, is quite impossible. Oh. I mean, when you say it like that, it's kind of a bummer, though. But the professor said the demonstration was a success.
Yes, it would appear that he fervently believes it was.
I've read Professor Bunnybrain's paper about it too, Runo, and I have to say, I'm sure it can't be done. It could barely be done theoretically, let alone practically. Oh, jeez. You guys are just kind of fucking crushing all over this dude's, hypothesis, aren't you? So he's completely barking up the wrong tree? But how could an experiment that had no possibility of succeeding, in fact, succeed? That's contradictory. And it's that contradiction that will be at the heart of the trial, I've no doubt. What's that supposed to mean? Now, I must hurry along. I wish you the best of luck, my dear fellow. See you later, Hurley. Jeez. Herlock, can't just fucking come up to a dude and be like, oh yeah, that whole thing you spent a day, investigating, turns out it's total BS. It can't be done, so clearly, you gotta figure out what actually happened. Like, geez, way to drop that on us and run. Fucking Herlock. Well, it looks like you're on your own today, Runo. But chin up, you can do it. Oh, what about you, Iris? No, I'm afraid I can't help. I have something I need to do. Oh, geez, everyone's fucking busy. Like, geez, no Iris? No Herlock? No Suzato? What's a Ryunosuke supposed to do? I see. Also, what kind of fucking 10-year-old have that was so important to do, as opposed to helping out me in trial? Me and Ryunosuke. Hey, it's going to be a big surprise for you when you find out what it is. That sounds ominous. Counsel for defense and defendant. Court is about to be in session. Make your way into the courtroom at once. We're on our way. Well, looks like I don't have an assistant to fucking help me out in court. An experiment that the laws of science say can't possibly succeed. And a scientist who's convinced that it did. That's a riddle you have to unlock here, Ryunosuke. That's the key to this case. Yeah, I guess so. Just fucking, unravel what's seemingly a contradiction against the very laws of nature. Nothing I can't handle. Just another fucking Tuesday afternoon for fucking Ryunosuke Naruhodo, am I right, fellas? Ugh. 23rd of October, 9:10 a.m. Okay, fine, it's the morning, but whatever. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are sitting today for a public trial of Professor Albert Harebrain. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is ready.
The defense is ready, my lord. I'm 6 months out of practice. And what's more... Oh god. I thought Suzato was here for a second. But then she fucking disappeared. She got fucking Thanos snapped out of existence. I'm without Suzato-san today. Is it just my imagination? Or does the air in here feel even more oppressive than usual? So, I must say, I recollect the victim of this case all too well. Mr. Odie Assman. Mr. Assman was
Mr. Assman was well known as a financier, though that it was merely a front for his diverse criminal activities.
It was only a month ago that the man appeared in court, prosecuted by you, Lord Van Zeeks. But the jury unanimously found him not guilty. Because every member of the jury had been bribed, by the sound of it. These powerful London criminals are prepared to go to extreme lengths to keep their freedom. But 2 days ago, on 21st of October, Mr. Assman met his end.
The work of the Weeper, was it? If that is how your lordship would describe divine retribution. But the fact remains that Mr. Assman's death was a direct result of the actions of the accused, Professor Hairbrain. Very well then. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the... Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been selected at random. God damn it, of course I get hiccups all of a sudden. You have been selected at random to represent the will of the people. Are the 6 of you ready to fulfill your societal duty? Oh, hey, you're a new guy. I'm trying to find a good thing. I'm most gratified to have been selected to carry out this important civic duty, my lord. Oh, to have a man's fate in the palm of one's hands. Oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shivers down my spine. Science experiments, magic, conjuring tricks, courtroom trials, all and nothing more than performances. Any spurious scholar that defiles the reputation of science deserves to hang. We had to listen to what's said on both sides of the fence, and, did settle on one. That's it, isn't it? Also, you're really going to town on that fucking corn, aren't you? I don't know if I like looking at it. I like looking at that animation. Hello? Oh, and wouldn't like this in my day. Wouldn't like this at all. That's the dude who was apparently asleep at Madame Tuspels' wax exhibition. The police killer Automo look-alike again, and he's exhausted as ever, it seems. Now, as I'm sure you are all aware, the incident we are here to judge today practically took place at the Great Exhibition, shortly after its opening. Though the death toll could have been far worse. With the exception of the victim, no one was killed. Nevertheless, the dream the science being exhibited rapidly turned into a nightmare for the spectators. A tragic turn of events, and as such, the eyes of all London, no, of the whole world will be on this trial. It is our duty to reach a swift and just conclusion, I feel. So, your opening statement, please, Lord Van Zeeks. At the heart of this incident is technology never before demonstrated anywhere in the world. One of science's latest developments, I take it. The government is keen to capitalize on the Great Exhibition to improve Britain's technological advantage. The technology being demonstrated by the accused was described as super high voltage instantaneous kinesis. Good Lord! It's designed to disassemble human subjects using extremely high voltage electricity and beam them instantly to another location where they're subsequently reassembled. Is such a thing even within the realms of possibility? Well, I don't believe it. That's for sure. Disassembling people with electricity? My goodness, how shocking! Yeah, in more ways than one. Ha! Whole idea is absurd. Hypothesis would never stand up to scrutiny. Sir, I believe you are a fellow of the Royal Society, are you not? An expert in your field. I am, and my word on the matter can be considered final. Instantaneous kinesis is poppycock. Sheer poppycock. Huh. Well, at least we have another scientist to compare notes to, at least. But also, that's another guy telling us that teleportation is bullshit, which is basically what Herlock and Iris said. So this expert and Mr. Sholmes are in agreement. It's impossible, but it's not super good. What is the prosecution's view on the matter? The prosecution would assert that the accused's instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a success. What? What rot? Order? Order! The professor's hypothesis is currently under investigation by the British government. If it is deemed to have merit, a substantial research grant would be made available. The accused made use of the invention built on his new hypothesis to take Mr. Assman's life, in order to be the sole benefactor of the grant. But, this disastrous demonstration was no accident. It was carefully designed from the outset to end the life of the victim.
Yeah, but again, I mentioned this last time before. Mr. Assman was he was Harebrain's like biggest and only financier to begin with. He was the one investing in his experiments. Even if he was getting money from even if he got money from the government for what he did, killing your top guy who was financing your experiments, it's not very smart, Besides, it's not like I doubt there's like just one grant going around that no one else can get, and or that only one person can get. Like it's fucking winner take all. Like I'd imagine they're probably giving out multiple grants. You would have to think, right?
Thank you, Lord Van Zeeks. Prosecution's stand was clear, but you will now bring forth witnesses to substantiate your claims. Gladly, my lord. Off comes my cape. Bailiff, show the first witnesses to the stand.
Oh, howdy. I know you guys. I know you guys pretty well.
Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector, Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. You can call me, Gregsus for short. I was on duty at the demonstration on the day in question, and in charge of the following investigation. Albert Harebrain, the scientist. You were born in England, but have been carrying out research in Germany in recent years. Correct. Yes, that's right. After graduating from university, here in Britain, I went to work in Germany and made an amazing discovery, which is what brought me back. I had to demonstrate my incredible hypothesis at the Great Exhibition. What you demonstrated was incredible, all right. An incredible explosion. But the science was a success. The instantaneous kinesis worked. Everyone saw it. They must have done. Yes, that was a terrible accident, but the demonstration of my hypothesis was a success. Well, that much is undeniable, as shown in this photograph taken by the forensic investigation team. Yeah, that's a dead guy, all right. This was taken inside the Crystal Tower, I take it. The centerpiece of the exhibition, no less. That's right, my lord. Seems the victim ran straight into it. I see. Very well, submit the photograph as evidence. The photograph of the victim has been entered into the court record. As the court's heard, the victim of the incident was Mr. Odie Assman. There have been a number of allegations made against the man, but putting him aside for the time being, he was the man who financed the research for the experiment and the demonstration itself. I see. So to summarize the situation, the defendant is accused of taking the life of the man who funded his work. Would that be correct? Exactly. But couldn't it be that the explosion was caused by some malfunction in the apparatus used for the demonstration? That's right. That must be it! My splendid machine! My poor splendid machine!
You saw it yesterday, didn't you? We can't even examine the records thanks to the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act.
Wow! The wreckage? The wreckage? But that being the case, how can the facts be established? How can it possibly be determined whether this was an accident or a deliberate and malicious act? Extremely simply, my lord. I beg your pardon. Isn't that right, witness? What? Sorry, me? No, your neighbor.
Oh. Of course Gregson would agree with that.
Yes, sir. It was murder, plain and simple. Anyone can say that with complete certainty. What? How can he possibly think that? Thank you, Inspector. I think we would proceed to formal testimony. You will explain to the court on what grounds you claim this experiment to have been a front for murder.
Yeah, because I'm curious about that myself.
The corpse that went crashing through the Crystal Tower had a broken neck. I made a minor miscalculation in the angle of the beam projection, that's all. That was my mistake. Yeah, but a post-mortem examination revealed another injury. A fatal wound. There was a lesion in his chest, where he'd clearly been stabbed by something sharp, right in the heart. So the victim was killed before he went anywhere. And this fella's the only one who could have done it.
Oh. Well, that's kind of bad.
An extraordinary business. In addition to suffering a broken neck, the victim was stabbed in the heart.
Information I would really like to have heard from someone other than the judge. Yeah, that's why. Well, again, if we could have learned some of this in the investigation phase, that might have been nice.
The coroner says death would have been all but instant from a wound like that. You could say, in fact, that the victim was killed twice by the accused. No, and no, that couldn't be further from the truth. I have here the experiment plan document that was submitted to the security team. The victim stood himself inside something called the birdcage, ready to be beamed instantly. To the second level of the Crystal Tower, about 25 yards away. The experiment did not go according to plan, however.
Yeah, okay, I guess... I guess he was, well, yeah, the explosion would be part of that, I guess. And then he got fucking, you know, took a wrong turn at Albuquerque, and he ended up inside the Crystal Tower.
As the machine was put into operation, there was a large explosion. The blast caused the beam transmitted to a point higher than intended. Accordingly, the kinesis resulted in the birdcage materializing in mid-air, from where it subsequently fell, crashing into the glass of the Crystal Tower's large round window.
Oh, so that's what happened, huh? It's pretty fucky.
My word! One assumes the victim's neck was broken upon impact with the tower, then. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. The machine was just too powerful. But honestly, really, I swear, it was just an accident. A terrible accident. Unfortunately, that excuse can't save you. No, not considering the sharp murder weapon that pierced the victim's heart. Murder weapon? What are you saying? This is the autopsy report submitted by the coroner. The prosecution would like it entered into the court record. Your request is granted, counsel.
The autopsy report has been entered into the court record. Well, geez. All that doesn't look good for, our boy Hairbrain.
I was there in person, you know. I saw the whole ludicrous performance. And the only other person on the stage is Mr. Assman for that disgraceful excuse for a scientist.
Then really, by all accounts, it must have been him.
Humph. Hard to think otherwise, really. Very well. Counsel for the defense. Proceed with the cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes, my lord. I need to focus here.
Holy Jesus, that was a fierce slap. It's been a while.
That it has, I suppose. That it has. And also, it seems as good as time as any to wrap things up for now. This episode ended up being, a little longer than I would have liked, but it's not the end of the world, The fact that, again, the investigation phase ended pretty early on, and, I didn't want to end, I wanted to at least get to, the beginning, introductory trial stuff that, every trial has, and, get into something meaty, at least. And we've managed to accomplish that, so that's cool, at least. But yeah, now we have a testimony to go through, and, press and cross-examine and all that. And that's good enough for me. Next time we will try to parse this strange, almost contradictory seeming mystery. Hopefully, at least, because honestly, this all seems like kind of a lot to take in, I feel like it's not exactly gonna be a simple case, but regardless, we'll deal with that next time. Until then, though, I'll see you around.